If you're in the trades, you know exactly how it goes, right? You're on the tools, you're focused on the job at hand, and your phone is the last thing you're thinking about. But what if that focus, that dedication to your craft, is quietly costing you thousands? Well, today we're going to break down a whole new kind of system, one that's designed for the person in high vis, not the one in a suit. So let's get into it and see what those missed calls are really costing you and how a system built for the job site can actually fix it. Okay, picture this for a second. You're up a ladder, maybe you're plastering a ceiling, or you're wedged under a sink. Your hands are full, they're probably dirty. Then your phone starts buzzing in your pocket. You can't get to it, you tell yourself, I'll call him back later. But we both know later often doesn't happen, does it? That one little moment might feel like no big deal, but let's uncover the massive, hidden cost it represents for your business. So I'll just ask you straight up, what is the true cost of a missed call? It seems like a simple question, but the answer is anything but simple. Think about it. When a potential customer calls you and they get your voicemail, what do you think they do next? Do they patiently wait for you to call back? Or do they just hang up and call the next person on their Google search? Yeah, we all know the answer. So what's that one call really worth? For most trade businesses, the number is, well, it's pretty staggering. We're talking about £30,000 a year. No, that is not a typo. That's the average value of work that is just slipping right through your fingers, all because of these small, seemingly harmless little gaps in your day-to-day process. So, how in the world do we get to a number that big? Well, it's not just one thing. It's more like a series of small leaks in a pipe. You've got the calls you miss when you're on site. Then there are the quotes you send out that just go quiet because you forgot to follow up. It's the amazing work you do that never turns into a 5-star review simply because you didn't ask. And it's all those happy customers who would gladly refer you, but, life gets in the way. Every single one of those is a lost opportunity that just keeps adding up. Okay, so that's the problem, and it is a big one. But the good news is, it's also completely fixable. And the solution isn't about working harder or hiring some expensive assistant. It's about having a system that does all that heavy lifting for you. So let's take a look at the automated system that plugs all these leaks, one that's built specifically for the way you actually work. At the heart of a solution like this is a concept called the 4R framework. And the idea is actually super simple. You identify the 4 most crucial money-making activities in any trade business, and then you automate them. It means the engine of your business's growth is just running in the background 24/7, leaving you free to get on with the actual work. So what are these 4Rs? First up, reputation. The system automatically asks every single happy customer for a review. You build your 5-star rating without lifting a finger. Second is reactivity. And honestly, this one is huge. Every inquiry gets a response or a callback in under 60 seconds from an AI agent. No more misleads, ever. Third, referrals. The system gently nudges happy customers to refer you to their friends, turning word of mouth from a lucky break into a reliable pipeline. And finally, retention. It keeps you in touch with past customers, so when they need work done again, you're the very first person they think to call. Now, you might be thinking, great, another complicated bit of software I don't have time for. But that's the key difference here. This isn't built for someone sitting in an office. The whole thing is designed to be run from the one tool you always have on you, the phone in your pocket. Let's just walk through a typical day. It's morning, you open the app, no laptop, no messing around. You see all your jobs for the day. And with a quick tap, you can see the customer's history, all the job details, so you're fully prepared before you even knock on their door. You finish the job. It looks great. Now, instead of making a mental note to follow up later, you just tap one button in the app, Mark Complete. And that single tap triggers everything. A professional thank you message gets sent, along with a link asking for that all-important Google review. The whole thing takes you, 5 seconds? All right, you're on your lunch break, and a notification pops up on your phone, a new inquiry. You can just tap it, pull up a pre-made template, and send off a professional PDF quote in about 2 minutes, right from the driver's seat of your van. That lead just went from cold to warm while you were eating your lunch. Now it's the end of the day, you check the app, and you see a call came in at 2 p.m., right when you were on that noisy job. But you didn't miss it. The AI phone agent answered, qualified the lead, answered their basic questions, and booked them straight into an open slot in your calendar. The job's booked, the customer's happy, and you didn't have to do a thing. That all sounds fantastic in theory, right? But does this stuff actually work out in the real world? Well, let's look at the proof. Let's dig into a case study from an electrical contractor over in Nottingham. So look at the difference here. Before using a system like this, This electrician was getting maybe 3 leads a week and had a grand total of 6 Google reviews. After just 90 days, 3 months, that jumped to 12 qualified leads every single week. His Google reviews shot up from 6 to 34. He went from literally struggling to find work to being booked solid 5 weeks in advance. And his own words say it all, really. I didn't believe it would work this fast. I'm turning work away now. I mean, that's the difference between having a proper system and just winging it day to day. He actually had to hire another person just to keep up with the demand. Okay, so we've seen that it works. But the final, and let's be honest, the most crucial question is always about the bottom line. What's the actual return on investment here? Let's make these numbers make sense. Let's be super conservative here. Let's say this entire system only gets you 2 extra jobs a month. And let's say the average job is worth £2,500, that's £5,000 in new revenue. You subtract the monthly cost of the system, and you're left with over £4,300 in pure additional profit every single month. And that's from just 2 extra jobs. Now, zoom out and look at that over a full year. That very conservative estimate becomes over £51,000 in extra profit. Remember that $30,000 problem we started with? This solves it and then some. Look, a lot of people think they can save a bit of cash by doing it all themselves. Build a basic website, post on social media when they remember to. But the true cost of the DIY approach is your time, which is worth thousands when you're on the tools, plus all the revenue you lose from just being inconsistent. When you really add it all up, the DIY approach is actually far more expensive than an automated system that runs 24/7 and never, ever forgets. So, to wrap this all up, what does this actually mean for you? Well, it really boils down to 4 key things. 1, you capture every single lead automatically, day or night. 2, you build a stellar 5-star reputation that attracts new customers for you. 3, you create a reliable, steady pipeline of work from both referrals and past customers. And 4, and maybe best of all, you can do all of this from the one tool you always have with you, your phone. And that brings us to our final thought. It's an honest question to ask yourself. If you don't change a thing, where will your business be 6 months from now? Will you still be missing those calls, struggling for reviews, and kind of wondering where the next job is coming from? Or will you have a system in place, a full schedule, and the freedom to just focus on what you do best? That choice right there is what separates the businesses that truly grow from the ones that just get by.